British weather, eh? MX. Yeah. What's up, guys? Obviously the weekend's here. That means another video on this. Obviously last week we did did half of the turbo feed line and we did the oil drain. So I might as well go and finish off doing that. Clean obviously some of these mounts up, make them look a bit more pretty. Then we'll get on to the engine bay, which means re-welding in some of the steel which is down there that I cut out and start cleaning that up. Probably not be as interesting as the other videos, but hey, it's a thing I've got to do to make the engine bay look kind of alright. The only other thing you do need to do on the motor is change the oil seal on the cast because it's leaking, and I can see it all in the bell housing and it's all down here as well. And I think that might have been causing the slipping of the clutch because it's dripping right down onto it. So when the clutch was slightly slipping, I've checked the clutch and it's fine. So that's another job to do, whether we get onto that today. And I think that's about it really for this one. Obviously trying to get as much done as I can. Mainly it's that engine bay needs cleaning, re-welding up, etc. And these little bits and pieces. So we shall see. Just so you see, obviously you see when I'm doing it. I need to remove all this Gregor supercharger. Radiator, of course. Yeah, I need to obviously weld all that up. Now, if you didn't notice before in the previous one, you haven't watched the previous video, with the turbo clocking, I thought I was going to have to make a hole and everything, which is kind of a big no-no anyway, making a hole in it. But I've got all the steel ready to do. I've cut it out in pieces, so it'll all weld back in and should be alright. But there is actually a, oh gosh, must be a 20-year-old repair just there, which you can just tell. That was that must have been probably 1999, 2000, when a very young Nathan, i.e. me, decided to weld up, and I'm pretty sure I probably left the old rotten steel underneath there. I don't know, I can't remember, it was a long time ago. But I'm going to obviously cut that out as well. And just generally, the idea is probably to get the engine bay cleanish. I don't really want to be dicking about with that wiring, as that hodgepodge there, because it's Lucas wiring. I don't want to let the smoke out, if that makes sense. And I just know I'm going to have an issue. Obviously, the MX-5 wiring is not too bad, apart from one cable on there is always iffy, which is that green one, if you can see it. That is a little bitch. Story of that wire is, engine was in, running fine, then suddenly it just died. And it would start, then suddenly stop. I bought Noid lights for the injectors, thinking it was injectors. I bought a new CAS, I bought a new MAF. Basically everything thought it was going to be. It turns out that little horrible wire there is the feed to the, probably was original, I don't think it's actually a thing now with the ME221, but it was to the original, goes to the rev counter, the tacho, down to the ECU. Turn the car, the ECU obviously sees the rev counter, or it sees the RPM, it's the RPM trigger, and the engine runs. It's got a brake in it. But this side's just caked in, it's all down here, it's detritus, it's caked in all rubber, basically from the supercharger belt, which obviously this is mine. So the fire is burning. I just need to get myself a nice coffee, and we'll get cracking. You obviously don't want to see my face. Right, first job, let's take the end line off. Make it a little bit longer than usual anyway. So, I don't know whether you can see that. Yeah, you would see, it's perfect. Make it a bit longer than usual anyway, because then just in case I've got to move anything or whatnot, go down it, just to make sure it's not got a blockage or anything for after I cut it. Now that should do, it's a nice loop and everything. Even if I have to remake these, the AN pipe is cheap, it's the fittings that aren't. So there she blows. So yeah, I've got to the other AN lines in the car, so I have to move the engine. But that's where it's going to go. Right, I've obviously just cut it down. I made it a little bit longer. Just used a small hacksaw. Now the only problem is with it is even with a hacksaw, just make sure I'm not in the way of the camera. Even with a hacksaw, it kind of takes out the vice. It still kind of melts and it puts that white powder in it. So I'll show you what I mean. And you can see that. And if it focuses in, you can kind of see it's probably too close to the camera. There you go. Yeah, well, you know what I mean. So that's the reason why I'm going to force oil down it. And, well, first air. Just to be doubly sure I get it all out. But most of it tends to come out. In actual fact, the end of just a rivet. But not great, that's for sure. But you don't want that in your oil system. I know your gauze might pick something up, but yeah, I'll force some more air down that and then oil, just to get the. But most of it's gone now, so you can see that. Yeah, most of it's gone, so that should be all right. There's a couple of little burrs from the, because it is a braided line, you see. A couple of burrs from the braided line, but oh well. There is an art to getting these right. I ain't got the art down. Wow, that went on much better. A bit of copper slip grease just to make it a bit easier to slide on. Then push the collet in. Should do. It says. That's not bad. That's near enough on. Right, we get a spanner and let's put it further in the vise. Let's get it sorted. On that section. Patience is always a virtue. Get rid of some threads. There we go. That's it. There you go. It's not bad at all, actually. Right, turbo feed line down here, obviously, and that one there. So let's put this on temporarily again. Should really be putting this engine on the rack, but again, there's just no point if I'm going to be going back in a couple of weeks. The engine stand is a bit of a hassle to get out, so kind of get the gist on how it's going to be. It's a nice loop. It's away from everything. I mean, I could have made it a bit shorter, but if I know if it leaks, I know I can cut it down. I've got enough. You see, I've come to putting it on the rack. The reason is I've noticed there's lead dirt all around here, or it's just horrible. It's actually fat. It's rubber again. That's all from supercharger belt rubber. When I first put it on, it weren't in line. So I just thought, you know what, if I've got to have to clean all that off, it's going to be a pain in the backside anyway. Plus also I need to do the water lines, and being crashed down to the ground ain't great, is it? So, right, with the turbo it came with, obviously remember it's off a Saab, so they're not going to be measured and the turns and bends to fit this type of car, but it came with the pipes. Now one of them I've just bolted on, and that's not bad because I can give that a slight bend. Obviously the feed and everything comes from this, so what goes into the water jacket that goes down the back to the heater and everything, so it just goes basically into it. So you tee off this, so pipe into the top, pipe into there. It's easy as that. Now that pipe will actually go pretty well, to be honest, because I can bend that round and get it about right so it's in the correct location. This one is going to be a bit more of a pain, I think. Well, not only that, the clocking of the turbo has made it so I can't get the jubilee out. Right, cooking on gas now. Okay, so I'll do this up. I'll get it in about the right place where I think it's going to be, and then we'll see which jacket which pipe's going to go where. Right, as you see, I've just clamped the turbo in place. You've got one water jacket here, or water pipe, sorry, here, which I'm going to, they're both on the same things, same angle, like on a across from each other, so vertically, so it doesn't matter which one's a feed and which one's not, but I'm going to use this one because it's going lower as the drain, or as the out, and this one's the feed, only because it's kind of easier than, I mean, that's practically, I could bend that into position and it'd be there, and then the other one can just route down here. That's the kind of gist of where I'm at the moment with it. I've just literally nipped them up, there's no movement in them, so, and that one doesn't look like it's catching, so nice and tight. So the idea is to gently probably bend this one up a bit more, and then cut it, and then it'll be rubber hose. It's probably more beneficial me keeping the hard line because it's not affected by belts coming off and tearing through it because it's obviously metal. Same with the bottom one, it's not going to be affected by any exhaust heat or anything, but it's going to go into there, so it's not much that needs to be changed. So I'm going to gently give them a bit of a bend and a persuasion, so they're about in the right position, and then obviously cut the ends off where they need to be. And I believe I've got some pipe in the boot, so that's that job kind of done then, really. Cooking on gas now. Got them kind of in the position I want them in. Obviously you've got the feed, and then you've got the in going here, and then you've got the out. It's got a bit of a high spot, but to be honest I could burn most of that out of the system. And then obviously, if I move that pipe out of the way, a nice drop, and it's just going to be a nice little loop into that. I mean, it would be great if I could get that and spin it, but it's really chuffed about that. I mean, obviously I'm reusing, it's recycling. They're not great, but that one will do the job. At least it's out the way of everything as well, so I'm kind of chuffed about that, really. Some people don't even run them though, that's the thing. Is that even reuse the bit of pipe that was cut off? It's not great, and probably one day I'll probably put proper water lines on, as in use fully rubber all the way around. I might do that anyway, because yes, it looks alright, but actually I don't know if I'm really happy with it now. I was didn't clean up some of the stuff. I decided to prettyify, is that such a word? The brace. So once that's painted in probably a crinkle finish black, I think that'll look quite nifty actually. Just makes it look a bit nicer on the engine, doesn't it, instead of a piece of normal steel. Like I said before, the bottom was not actually being used, but it could come in handy for something else, and also when I come to change the turbo over. So who knows, I wasn't going to cut it off, but I think that was kind of cool there. A little bit of angle iron steel does the job. Alright, car's moved over. Just taped up that. You probably can't see it, but what I'm going to do is clean up totally around the whole of there, get that welded up, and then I think I'll get onto the welded repair that I did before, chop that properly out and weld a nice piece in. So I'll put the camera over the side. I'll have to get in the engine bay, I think, to do part of it. So let's just move the camera over. And let's try raising it up. Yeah, so you can see what I've got to do. Luckily I didn't, if on the left hand side you see where the little, just there, there's a step that goes in the, obviously, it's a bracing or strengthening piece. I didn't cut that fully out, so, and you can see on the far left where, let me try and, I should get a laser pointer to here, where I was started to cut it and thought, hold on, no, we could do it an easier way. So yeah, what I'm going to do, clean all that up, weld the pieces in. I cut them in segments, so it's not going to be a straight piece coming out, but I'll get it about right anyway, and then grind it all down. But then it's that piece there, which the camera's just picking up. Let's get it to focus a bit. See it? I welded that a long time ago, so let's get that one sorted as well. And at least I know that's done. The engine bay can then be getting ready to sort of kind of clean up, because it's disgusting. Right. Right, as you can see, it's all cleaned up. So I've just cleaned all around the edge where I'm going to be welding. I've obviously the piece of steel you can see down at the bottom, they're the ones obviously I cut out. The one with the 2 holes is to go over the right hand side, which sits right above the shocker just there. So I'm going to put that one in first, weld that one, we'll tack it in first, then tack the other one in. There's going to be a bit of hammering and stuff to get, because I hammered them out to try and, or hammer them around to try and get them sort of to give room for the turbo outlet. But obviously that was not going to be. So I'm just starting to tack everything in. So some of this will have my head in the way, but you'll see. I'm about halfway through. It's near enough getting there. It's just a bit down the one side where it doesn't quite meet. So I'm probably going to have to put like a thin slip of steel in there just to make up the gap. Smoky, smoky, smoky. Right, she's all welded in. The hole you see there, the perfectly circular hole, was a cold air feed. I'm going to get the welder out of the way and get all that ground down. Said obviously I won't be doing like a full different colour paint, but I thought I'd get rid of the sort of chipped off paint that's lifting a little bit. People say my art is Mazda MX-5's rust. Right there. Look at that. Layer upon layer. I think I probably welded a piece over the top, even though someone else before me had welded a piece over the top. I've done quite a bit. Obviously, at least that hole's all welded up. And, well, I've got another hole to sort out welding. Got the steel as a template anyway. I will be seam sealing the section where I've welded in, just so no water ingress can get in. The chassis rail's a bit cleaner. Need to clean up all this front section. Put some gunk in the gearbox. Change the O-ring on the cast. Next week I think I'll probably obviously be continuing with those bits and pieces. I'm going to get the paint for the block. I think I'm going to go for the same red again. It just gives it all a nice clean. Get some degunking, because I've got to obviously do inside that gearbox like I should before, because that's pretty bad. Yeah, degunk all that and start cleaning it up, paint it. I'm inclined to paint up to the cylinder head, so it looks a bit nicer, but we shall see. And obviously repaint all these, the pulleys and stuff, to make them look a bit better. But that should be about it. So obviously if you've enjoyed the video, hit the like button, subscribe, that'd be great, and I shall see you in the next one. See you later. Peace out.